my stories. Yeah, I think it's important. But it doesn't have to be, hey, look at us, we're in Vintage. You can be in a location, a house, or a warehouse, or wherever you're setting your story. That location must speak to the story you're telling, or else it's going to be a soapy looking type.
And Philippe, for casting?
Yes, I think casting plays an important part. And there's maybe two aspects to it. You can cast a very well-known actor or actress because then the name sells. Okay. For me, it's not always a recipe for success, but it's true that the name can help you sell your product. But you can also discover talent. And for me, that's what is more interesting. When we did Salute, it was the first film of Adriano Visari and Monre Garoeb that had never been on a film before. And it was a surprise for the public, but it worked wonder. With Lucas, I worked with little kids that had never been on a set, but they work wonder. So there's also something very exciting about discovering talent. It might not be as much of a sell value as a well-known actor. I mean, if you got Eric Roberts in your movie, obviously it makes things a little bit easier in terms of your marketing. But there's also something very, very, very exciting about discovering talent and getting people to see those talent for the first time. That does not have the same sell value. You have to be clear with yourself. Okay? If you discover talent, obviously, it's harder to market the movie based on the talent. You'd have to market it based on your story, your locations, your crew, other elements. But for me, it's very exciting to discover new talent. And in Lucas, we had this little boy who is now 13 who plays Lucas and is nominated for a big award in Burkina Faso. And just to be able to go with this little kid to Burkina Faso is so exciting. And now he's making a name for himself. So that's quite amazing. But yes, it also depends, back to what we're saying, what are your objectives? If you want your actor to sell the movie, then you have to take well-known actors, because to have them on your poster will help. If you want to scout and discover new talent, you can still sell the film, and you can create something about a vibe about those new talents. But you have to be clear with yourself. On the poster, it will not have the same marketing value.
Just in case of time, I'm going to take two last questions. I think Dalton here.
Yeah. Hi, guys. My question is more to do with saving cost on production. I think listening to you guys, and also having done a film here now, you always go a little bit out of budget. If you, based on your personal experiences, you have to go redo it, and cutting, I think you mentioned you could probably do it at 30% lesser. I'm sure all of you will probably want to do it at lesser. What would you cut on without losing production value?
Just before you guys answer, I'm just going to take the last question. Was it here and then there?
Good afternoon. My name is Phil Ann. My question is to everybody, and I need to start by commending you guys for your resilience. It's crazy how you guys keep pushing, knowing very well you've already invested, and then coming to obstacles like losing a whole camera. That's devastating, but you guys keep going. My question relates to the distributor part, because I got a bit confused when Michael mentioned that there's a distributor and there's also a salesperson. In my mind, the distributor needs to also act kind of like the salesperson, if that makes sense. But I'm also looking at it from a marketing perspective, yes. But I would also like to know what would your ideal distributor be? For considering that you've done films in different countries and all that, what would your ideal distributor be? Thank you.
Gonna hold on to that. Here we go, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Liesel. Should I stand up? Oh, yeah. I think, it makes sense for the creators to please also, draw up a business plan. I know they're not business minded maybe, but they need to get someone. I mean, I don't think you should come to an investor and ask for, can I have 5 million? You need to say, I got quotations from this location. I know what my accommodation's going to be, at least for, that duration that you're going to be on location. And then you know how much you spend, because, you guys are also talking now. I know it's not really fixed, but you guys are talking about you will need about 5 million to shoot this film and things like that. But when you get there, you might only need, like 200,000 for 3 days or something like that for your cars, your petrol, your getting to the location or something like that. So, I think it's just for the industry. I think it would make sense if you guys, when you go out for this sort of, and the value chain, when I was listening to MultiChoice, I was not MultiChoice, One Africa, NBC, and I'm not sure if it was MTC, yeah. And we know MultiChoice is, might be buying the films, but honestly, really, I haven't seen, like last year's films that came out, I haven't seen one on NBC or MultiChoice. So, I think the value chain, there's still gaps and things that we need to look at. So there's a lot of consultants, not me. I don't want to get into that now, but there's a lot of consultants in the field that you guys must also draw your sort of strengths from, that can advise you guys, to get that sort of value chain problem. There's gaps, and these guys are not really giving you what you need. And I think Mr. Hoopschler, I think they're all selling their movies outside. When we need them also sold here, they're also producing from, for other markets, like, South Africa. And we'd like to see these movies, make sense for this market, or at least, generate income that builds this industry locally. Because we're not seeing money here yet. And I know we're only talking about this realistically now, so we're facing our problems. But we need to, where's the money really going that needs to be here for this industry?
Was that part of the last question or just commentary? How did you guys cut costs? Just to keep it short, whoever can take it. And then she was trying to understand what is the best distributor, who's the best distributor, and what's the difference between a sales agent and a distributor. So those two questions, whoever can pick it up.
Yeah, maybe on the cutting cost, Dalton. I'm going to cite the example of the feature film. So a lot of the story was set in Lüderitz. But we kind of identified the scenes that had to be exterior Lüderitz and the ones that were interior Lüderitz. And interior Lüderitz, we shot here, basically. We just made sure that the interior, how it's styled, kind of would match what the exterior looks like. So we already scouted the exterior location and made sure that we literally built a tiny studio here with dry walls and stuff like that, and just made sure that it matched. And that was like 4 shooting days that we would have had to spend accommodation, food, traveling, all that in Lüderitz. Instead, we only had, like, out of the total 7 days that were supposed to be Lüderitz, we only spent 2 days shooting there. So that's for example, a straightforward way of how you can cut your costs. Literally try not to say, if I shoot interior, I have to shoot at the exact same location where my exterior is. Because often I think here we still make that mistake. We say, like, this is our location, everything will be there. Meanwhile, you can find way better ways to cut down your costs. And even if it's like about telling exterior outside of Windhoek scenes, often in our minds we go like, we have to travel now 400 or 700 kilometers to make it look like that side of the land. Meanwhile, there's places around here in a 40-kilometer radius that allow you to make it look like rural area. So I think often that's definitely something we should at all points factor in. How much traveling and accommodation and stuff like that do we actually have to do? And then the other aspect is, how big does your crew have to be? because that's again something that we think we need to have this full-blown crew, but maybe we can actually do it as a crew of 5. Documentaries, there was somebody mentioning documentaries. For the last 4 years, the documentaries that I shot, it was myself and a camera person, and that's it. And essentially I doubled up doing the sound, because that's how you can sort of reel in your costs. Because having always, of course it's nice to have big crews, but we are a small market, right? So we have to also work with the budgets that we have available and make them make sense for what we want to achieve. And that's one way of doing that.
Well, thank you so much, team. For her question about distribution, what is the difference between a sales agent and a distributor? And who's the best person? How do you get the best distributor? Bianca?
So, for example, distribution works with territories. So we live in Africa. We know the distributors of Africa. So we can go directly to them. And it's not that difficult. You just can't go to a distributor and say, hey, please distribute my movie. You know, you've got to go and have various conversations. And there's nothing wrong with you going and introducing yourself to all the distributors. When I made my first film, I literally wrote emails and sent links to a trailer and took a meeting with every single distributor before I decided in Africa we have access to distributors. In another territory where you go to sell your film, you don't have access to the distributor. So you need a middleman who's a sales agent. His content for his territory. So you also have to find a sales agent who is tasked at looking at the MENA region. Another sales agent whose job is to focus solely on SADC, the South African, Southern Africa. So those are people that work in acquisitions for companies. And that company has to then go and sell it. They might have a first look deal with a distributor for 20 feature films for the year. But that company has to send an acquisitions person / sales agent to go look for these things, to take it there and then give it over. And then you're going into 50% of Iran, 30% of Iran. So you just take your 20% But the good part about it is that if you can find a sales agent in various territories, don't think about the money first in your first couple of features. Think about it as how many people can see my film in different territories, so that when I come with the next film, those territories will open their doors for me to work. So it's a whole process. You can try go to a distributor directly, but I don't think Warner Brothers North America is going to want to talk to us from Africa. They want someone who they trust to go look for content to bring this to them. It's also a time thing, right? We always get upset because nobody wants to meet with us. Those people don't have time for us. Like, they don't even have time for people who are churning out films. They have people whose job it is to go and find that and buy it and bring it to them. I don't know who the best distributor is, though. I think you find a distributor that you vibe with, that looks after your needs, and also project-based. You don't have to work. I mean, I work with one distributor for Africa, who's been extremely loyal to me over the years and has helped me build my career. But I might have a project where he's not the right distributor for it, and I have to be able to go and speak to another distributor. So don't burn those bridges. Always keep those relationships open. You can distribute with everybody.
Thank you so much for my panelists for being here. I hope everybody was able to learn a little bit on how to make a high-value, successful feature film. There are pitfalls. Key words that I learned from this discussion was perseverance.
They come to our land, pollute it, desecrate it. The bottom line is always about money.
You know what I like about people like you is that you always put yourself first. Now work with me and I guarantee your name will be written in the stars.
Willemite exploration has been futile.
We made a new, exciting discovery.
At 10 a.m. this morning, a group of all-black scientists took a flight to the Skeleton Coast, led by the capable Dr. Samantha Gold.
No. Why are you coming?
I'm a businessman, Samantha. I want to see exactly what the fuck you're doing with my money.
They'll be attempting to discover the very rare blutamite, which has eluded the science world for over 70 years. We believe will greatly advance the world of technology. Are you with me?
I miss you.
Then help me.
Let's not forget the elephant in the room. If the blutamite even exists, someone would have found it by now.
It contains high properties of radioactive elements, higher than uranium and iridium. You saw the atomic structure. 134. What are they going to do with this thing?
If somebody else finds the stone, what then?
I don't need to sell myself to you. You know exactly what I can do.
Get the hell off our land!
Let me remind you, I'm the fucking boss.
You are a joke. A little fish is about to be circled by hungry sharks.
You think anybody's gonna believe you when you tell them you found the blutamite?
Say one more word.
Our land is sacred, and it should be treated that way.
If these lands could speak, what would they say? They would say, turn on your cameras and widen your lenses and explore remarkable Namibia, the land where the ocean waves kiss the sand dunes and a country of absolute wonder and endless horizons. Find the best locations for filming that are engulfed with breathtaking sunsets. Connect with us at www.
Put on a smile and run away to a faraway place where the fun never ends. Gotta stand up and shake it loose. Take a chance on life, go on a wild goose chase. Just because I need to get up, get out, just get outside. Go, 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 have an adventure. Get up, stretch out, and see the other side. Go, 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 have the time of my life. Gotta get these cobwebs out of my head. Just get out of bed and go. Whoa, no, 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 no more blue days got me down. No more thinking it over. Too much mulling it over. Gonna jump without looking, and before you know it, yes, yes, sir, I'm gonna get up, get out, just get outside. Go, 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 have an adventure. Get up, stretch out, see the other side. Go, 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 have the time of my life. Get out, just get outside. Go, 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 have an adventure. Get up, stretch out, see the other side. Go, 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 have the time. Oh, I gotta get up, get out, just get outside. Go, 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 have an adventure.